So, I want to talk about non-epilepsy. Non-epilepsy is not epilepsy, so epilepsy is an electrical current in the mind that can be affected. But not epilepsy can kill brain cells. Non-epilepsy is our brains are like, you can describe it two different ways. So I'm going to describe them both ways and both might think, if I have one, don't worry, it does happen. I do have a bell somewhere. Where's my bell? It's a bell. And this little bell where I can press and it rings to my brother who'll come and help me. He knows what he's doing. So, right. You're a computer. Your brain is a computer. Well, people say. Scientists say. I don't know who says. So, you've got too many files open. And people that give you stress, people that give you anxiety, people not staying 2 meters distance in the middle of a shop. Your mum or your dad has gone, can you do this? Or school's like, oh, could you do this and this? Past trauma comes back to you. And you've got too many files open on the computer and the computer goes and freezes. It then shuts down and restarts again. That is like a non-epileptic person's brain. Our brain shuts down, restarts, but in the shutdown restarting mode, it shakes. Because it's got too many files open. The other thing is like a fizzy bottle. Stop it. Fizzy bottle. So you can have Fanta or Coke or Sprite or whatever you drink, fizzy stuff. And you start having anxiety, same problems as before, and your bottle starts shaking. And it shakes too much, you unscrew the lid, just a tiny little bit, and everything pops out. It all fizzes over. That's like seizures. So, some people are aware they're having them, some people aren't. Mine, I'm aware I'm having them quite often. So the ones I have, currently this is happening at the moment, and this is a new one that's just joined in tonight. Lovely. I do love new ones. So quite often I have stretches, which basically my whole body wants to arch and stretch. I shake. So basically my whole body goes into convulsions and I shake. Other ones that are happening are dropsies on the floor. So basically I just drop 1 minute more, next minute I'm down on the floor. And ones where I just stare up into space and don't know where I am. And then you have random ones like Mexican waves, or hands up in the air and can't move them down, or this, which has just joined in. What's this? I think I'm going to go in big style in a minute. I can feel it coming. So I sometimes know I'm going to have them. I have a feeling like, you know when you need to go to the toilet and you get that urge? That's like my seizure. I know it's coming. Today's been a really busy, stressful day, and on top of that one, with everything that's going on later on this week, next week now, going in for an operation and having to isolate for 3 days, my brain is now currently unlocked. It's on shutdown mode. What the heck are you doing? This is starting to go big. Okay, sorry. There is no cure. Well, some people find cure, some people don't. So you can either have psychology, which I've had my round of psychology. I've had CBT. I've had, what else have I had? CBT, group therapy, which group therapy felt weird, but it was nice knowing you're not alone with this. Quite a lot of people have got non-epilepsy. it's not as rare as people think, but people don't talk about it. So the colours of non-epilepsy are teal and purple. We are part of the FND groups, which is functional neurological disorders. So non-epilepsy can also be called non-epilepsy. It can be called functional non-epileptic disorder. It can be called NED, which is non-epileptic attack disorder, or PINS, which is psychological non-epilepsy. Yeah, psychological non-epilepsy is it. I've heard it being called pseudoseizures as well before. Quite a lot of doctors don't know about it, and quite a lot of people think we're faking it. We're not. This is our brain having its moments. Some people have tics. Some people have seizures. Some people scream and just drop things on the floor. This is our anger. This is our thing that comes out. So quite often it's because of a trauma in your life, earlier life. For me, it was operations at an early age, and serious operations at an early age, and constant bullying. I couldn't trust people. So mine stems from that. I know where it stems from. I confronted my problems, and it's still coming out. Some people swear by CBD oil. I'm not trying it, and I'm not taking it because I'm on the medication. I would want to make sure it's alright with my doctor, but I talked extensively with my mum about this treatment, and we decided not to go for it. A lot of plate. No, come on, not having one big one. I don't want one today. Breathe it down. Talking about non-epilepsy to people so they understand what it is, and this started. So I didn't need to press the bell tonight. My brother's heard and come in, and now he's taking. I think he's joining in now.
Might as well make a sound.
Yes.
Oh dear. Whoa, this one's a bad one. Calm. Breathe.
What do you think I'm doing?
Seizure?
I don't know. I took my glasses somewhere.
Underneath you.
Sorry, Sam.
Fat framed. How can you see through them?
Crazy.
No.
Thank you. Alright, Sam. Okay. Thank you, Aaron. Sorry about that. I felt like coming. That was one of my seizures. My brother said it's a bad one. And at the moment, I keep forgetting to breathe. So quite often my brother has to remind to breathe. Normally, you're not supposed to hold somebody with seizures. Unfortunately, because of my conditions, including having titanium half my back, my brother does, and my mum does. But this has been going on since I was 16. So we all know what we're doing. I started off with drops, so my leg would just jerk, and then it sounded like shivering, like somebody was walking over my grave constantly, and then I had little arm ones and little leg ones. This was between 13 and 15. When I was 16, I went into hospital to have my spine done. Explained in other videos about my condition and my spine and titanium. So I had just had titanium put in 5 days, and 5 days later, just before going home, I might add, I ended up in a seizure. And I had one after the other after the other. So obviously, because nobody knew what they were, I had to stay in the hospital and be checked by the nurses. They said that psychology guys were going to come see me the next day. Later on that afternoon. I waited all afternoon. Obviously, I don't like hospitals, and I've been in there 5 days. I was in there 6 days, I think, and I was getting so fed up, and I just wanted to go home to my animal. So I discharged myself. Not the best idea. So I went home. Breathed all night, tried to, seizure all night. Poor mum and dad didn't get any sleep. So the next day, my mum had to take me back to the hospital because my mum up and said we'd had a bad night and everything. They wanted me back in. So I went back in, stayed the night. Because I had no seizures that night, I was allowed to go back home and said I would win. I had scans and everything said that the titanium was fine and everything was fine, so I was sent back home. A few weeks later, I got my test results back. I finally got to see a psychologist and they did all these tests, and then I had to stay January, February? Sometime I had to stay 3 nights in hospital. This was because they could see what was going on, so I all had electrodes in my hair, and was videoed as well, so they could see the seizures and record them. I had all my seizures in about 2 days, so I was allowed to go home. So I went home. They called me, was that a few weeks there, and said it's not epilepsy, it's non-epilepsy. That was the worst day of my life. I thought, oh dear, my friends will hate me, they'll never trust me, they'll think I've been faking it. One friend was iffy with me, and my other friend learned what was meant to happen with me and what to do. Luckily for me, he's still with me and still my best friend. We treat each other more like brother and sister. My other friend did eventually walk away. I've had quite a lot of people that say, oh, I'm not going out with you because you've got this. Or if we do go out, can your brother come with you? Or somebody that knows what you're doing with seizures. It's not fair. I'm not allowed out much, apart from if I have somebody that trusted my seizures, so basically being watched. I have the bell system on at night time when I go to sleep, and everything. If I go on the bus, I have to go with one of my carers or my mum. If I want to go anywhere, with my mum or one of my carers. College was hell with non-epilepsy. I used to have them on lunchtime. I was lucky that somebody who also had non-epilepsy noticed mine, and she took me under her wing and kept an eye on me at lunchtime, and if I felt seizuring, I could just go to her and go, I'm not feeling quite well, and she would keep with me and walk me up to my classroom. Teacher, on the other hand, terrible. Their idea is quite often, and I've heard for this time and time again, they let you out of the classroom on your own. Yeah, that actually happens. They just basically, out the classroom, sit on the chair, you're on your own. We had a plan in place, which, an action plan or whatever you call it, both Drew and new. So my brother was at the same college as me, but he was downstairs and I was upstairs in one department, he was in another department. His tutor would let him out. My tutor sent me on the chair, but they were meant to ring my brother's student and say she's having a seizure, she needs help. Sorry, I'm still a bit dizzy. But my tutor wouldn't, so I used to have to remember my phone while feeling dizzy and feeling like I'm going to seizure, and then text my brother and say, I'm going to go to a seizure, I'm here. And he would come sort me out and go back to his classroom. His tutor was fine with it, and then later on his tutor would see me around college and go, you alright? I said you had a seizure. I went, yeah, I'm okay. But yeah, teachers do go on. If you see somebody having a fit, don't stare. The worst thing you can do is stare at somebody having a fit. I'm somewhere and I'm down on the ground and I got stared at for having a seizure. I went somewhere a couple of weeks ago with my carer to go and get the last few bits of Christmas shopping ready. We all had a mask on, all social distancing and everything, don't worry. And I saw a young lady having a seizure. So I stopped, and because I was in my wheelchair, and I said, would you like a cushion for her? Karen went, yes please. So she put the cushion on the floor ready for this girl having a seizure. I was stood with my chair and with my cushion, but I was turning around to make sure that nobody really affected her, because I know how it feels with me. And the amount of people that stared was amazing. Don't stare. If you can see that she's got help with a care of somebody, and she's got something safe for her head, or they've got something safe for their head, don't stare. 1, it's impolite. 2, when they come round, they can feel eyes. And I know I do. I feel so many eyes on me when I seizure. I hate it. I had one the other day in a shop and I collapsed and I couldn't hold it off any longer and I fitted in a nail. Luckily, my sister and brother-in-law were with me and my mum, and they helped me. But people were staring. So don't do that. We don't like it. They say phone an ambulance. Some do, some don't. Mine don't call an ambulance. They don't know. Not many people in the medical services know what non-epilepsy are. I've had to tell nurses when I'm in hospital. And people go, oh, got non-epilepsy. First aiders. I think I've only met 1 or 2 that know about my seizures. Most don't, so I've educated them. There's lots of stuff online. Non-epilepsy disorder. Look online. Got a purple banner. UK. It's a UK site. And they explain everything. There is a lot by a lot of different places out there can explain. Epilepsy.org is a good one too. And they explain it too. If you've got questions for me about mine, please ask. I don't mind explaining my seizures. And I am sorry for the one I had. I knew it was coming. And no, I didn't start filming this video just because I felt one coming. No. I wanted to do this video explaining what mine are, what struggles you face, and basically so you could see a non-epileptic attack disorder in progress as well. But I didn't think I was going to end up having a seizure. That was just ended up in there. It wasn't so you could see disorder happening, so don't think it was that. And it wasn't part. I've had 2 mini stresses today and it's built up and built up, I thought I managed to get rid of it earlier when I had one. Must have not. And so I am sorry about that one. So that explains my condition. Well, the bane of my life, the seizures. So that is all. I'm gonna try and sleep now and not have any more. So that explains my epilepsy. Any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. I will answer as best as I can. Okay, bye.